welcome to Sports Unfolded NBA Ranking Show. I'm your host, Eric. Big dog right there, Kenny. How are you?
What's going on? What's going on?
Going on with you, my friend. So, a lot going on. We released the NBA rankings today. Some controversy, as usually expected, with these rankings. So, I'm really looking forward to getting into this this list today. My concern would be is how the Lake is not on here, buddy. So Lakers may not even make the play-in game. That's kind of some big news in the NBA world. 2 games out now from San Antonio, so that one's a little surprising. But we're going to talk about teams that are in this list, are in the playoffs, and basically go through these power rankings. So we're going to start off with the number 5 team.
Boston Celtics.
That's the Boston Celtics, who are 49-30, 8-2 in their last 10. They're at Chicago, at Milwaukee, and at Memphis this week. 21-17 on the road. So not looking too good for the C's when it comes to seedings in this list for next week.
Yeah.
Currently the number 1 team points against, though, at 104.3. So we know defensively they're one of the top teams in the league. But you're talking about 3 juggernaut of games here, with obviously Memphis being considered a favorite to go to the at least Western Conference Finals. Milwaukee, the defending champions, who have finally started to really pick up some momentum. In Chicago, listen, they've hung around. DeMar DeRozan has played some good basketball for them. Even with the injury to Ball, they still seem to be able to carry. What's the outcome for the Celtics here?
Defense. And they were 26-6, and they were number 1. So if they can keep that defense going, it'd be great. They're going to miss Williams. It's going to be a big loss. But if we can keep up that defense, we're doing good.
Yeah. So they're second in blocks as a team. So 5.9 blocks a game. So you think it's not just coming from Williams, who is number 2 in the league at 2.2 blocks a game. Yeah. But yeah, again, right behind Jared Jackson Jr., right, from Memphis. So, and I think he's got 2.3 blocks. So yeah, big loss for them. So at this number 5 spot, though, there is some controversy, Kenny, and I would actually say even the number 4 team possibly. But let me ask you this: Milwaukee at 48-30, why were they not on the list?
I couldn't put them there.
Putting you on the spot.
Boston Celtics is a better defensive team and an awesome team than the Milwaukee Bucks right now.
Okay. I mean, what about Philadelphia?
Philadelphia's a train wreck. They'll be out in the first round. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Philadelphia's a train wreck.
So let me ask you this. I would put this team in the 4th spot right now. So we're gonna go over to the 4th team, which is the Golden State Warriors. And I'm gonna ask you, the Dallas Mavericks are 49-30, been 6-4 in their last 10. If you look at what Golden State has done in their last 10, 3-7.
Yeah.
They have not played good basketball. Granted, they're 50-29, a game above Dallas, but I could still question why Dallas wouldn't be on this list ahead of Golden State at this point.
Golden State has better offense, way better offense. And don't forget, people forget, they got 2 of the best shooters in NBA history. People forget that.
I think you're in love with the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, I understand. Steph Curry shooting 38%, Klay shooting 38%. But don't. Some people get it twisted. Them still bad boys. You know what I'm saying? They still can turn it on. And then playoffs.
So no Steph Curry for the rest of the regular season. They've already ruled him out.
Yep.
Dallas playing some very good basketball. Luka. My question would be, okay, this week they've got the Lakers at home, at San Antonio, at New Orleans. San Antonio, New Orleans are hungry teams because they're in that play-in game right now, both of those squads. Obviously, San Antonio is trying to stay ahead of the Lakers. If Golden State loses a couple more games this week, should they remain on this list?
No, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They are in trouble.
So they had held on to the number 2 spot for quite some time. And you can see them slowly just dropping each week now. And I would question the stability of them even being in this list at number 4. I trust your basketball insight and knowledge, but I will say I would clearly start to look at the Dallas Mavericks as a team that possibly could be on this list next week.
They could. We shall see. There's no games tonight. So
yeah, making some noise though, those Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the number 3 team here, and that's the Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. Miami 51-28, 6-4 in their last 10. Mm-hmm. They're home for Charlotte, Atlanta, and then at Orlando this week.
Yeah.
Charlotte, again, decent team. Atlanta's been playing very good basketball as of late.
Yeah. So
they finally seem to turn the corner and made some strides this season. They really hadn't played well early in the year, so that should be a very good game. Obviously, Orlando is Orlando, but 27-12 at home, 24-16 on the road. So I could see where, again, not really a big difference when it comes to that stat. They're 3rd overall in points against at 105.2, so very good defensively.
Yeah.
Number 1 team shooting the three-point percentage, 37.7%. So, again, they shoot the 3 with efficiency. My question to you is this. Would you still consider them best team in the East?
At this time, yeah. At this time, yeah. They got a solid core. Only problem is their 4 starters have missed a lot of games. One has missed games, one missed 17 games, 1 games, and 1 5 games. So we miss games, you know what I'm saying? And if you miss games, the whole starters, the bench has to step up and do what they do. So I've been doing that.
So thinking about long term here, Miami in the playoffs, though, again, my concern would be is that they're only about a +4 in the point differential. They're not really dominating games. They're keeping it close. Teams like Milwaukee, Boston could give them some trouble. Possibly the 8th seed, the Brooklyn Nets, if the Brooklyn Nets become the 8th seed. And think about that matchup and how high scoring the Nets are. Could that be a concern for Miami? But again, one of the best coaches in the league. We don't talk about Eric Spoelstra enough.
Yeah,
and to me, he's done a fantastic job of keeping this team together. We thought they were going to derail after that argument on the sideline where Jimmy Butler wanted to fight the whole team. And we found out why, right? We announced it last week that Jimmy Butler found out we were going to drop him down on the list, and he was a little upset about it. So he was trying to go at people. He didn't want to be lower on the Sports Unfolded NBA rankings list. Did you not receive a call from Jimmy Butler asking you about the rankings right before that fight ensued?
He's like, how dare you?
What is wrong with you, Kenny?
I'm like, hey,
what are you doing to Jimmy? Poor Jimmy Butler.
He shoot 23%.
Why are you taking threes?
I had to do it.
And the odd thing is, so we're from Boston. We're Celtic fans here, and we've talked about Marcus Smart in the past and the 3 points and his percentage, which he's eased up. And nobody's talking about this Jimmy Butler 3-point percentage. Like, why is this guy taking threes? He's obviously not a good 3-point shooter.
No, he's
Slash
not.
to the hole, get to the line. Stop taking threes. I think it's going to hurt him in the playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely will. That's what they've been wide open, and he clang, 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 clang. So we'll see.
I just don't. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Miami. I feel like they're just a game or two from being third or fourth in the East.
Me
And
too. I'm not sold
for
on them
me,
at all.
it's Milwaukee has taken that step. Giannis, I think, takes control of the MVP race right now just by the way he's playing. I don't know. I just feel like Milwaukee's on the right path now to get back to the finals.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sold on Miami either.
And it's just weird. We've talked about it so much, but they're there, and I still at some point feel like they're not. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to get into a playoff series and not be able to get through it.
Yeah.
So what about this number 2 team? We're so excited about the Memphis Grizzlies, what they've been able to continue to do. 55-23. Kenny, 9-1 in their last 10 games.
Yeah.
But listen to this stretch here. Are you ready for this week?
I'm ready.
At Utah, at Denver, home for New Orleans, and then home for Boston. Now that's a stretch. That's 4 very good games. 29-10 at home, 26-13 on the road. But they are the number 2 scoring team in the league at 115.4 points. So they're putting up points. Also, number 1 in rebounding, number 1 in steals, number 1 in blocks, and number 1 in field goal attempts.
Yeah.
They're averaging 94.3 shots a game.
Yeah.
So Desmond Bane is number 3 overall in 3-point percentage at 43%.
He nasty.
So, you know what I mean? They're getting it from everywhere, everybody. Ja hasn't even played the last couple of weeks, and they're still winning.
It doesn't matter who is in the lineup, they still win. It does not matter who they play. It doesn't matter who's in the lineup. They still win. They are 19 and what against John Moran?
19 and
2.
Yeah. They just don't lose. I don't know. They figured it out. I legitimately would consider them a threat for the Phoenix Suns in the West. That Western Conference Finals. Everybody keeps continuing to. Let me ask you this question, Kenny. Everybody continues to talk about Memphis and their youth. Have they not proven at this point that you really can't take that into consideration, seeing that they've been pretty steady and faced all teams that they've played this season? That I don't think youth's going to be a factor for them.
No, it's not. It's not. They're hungry. They're ready to run. They're ready to gun. And Phoenix or whoever they match up with in the West need to watch out.
Yeah. So again, and if you think about what we're talking, they're not just one dynamic. They're not just a high scoring team. They play tremendous defense. If you're leading the league in rebounding, steals, blocks, you're doing something right on the defensive end as well. So, and then Jared Jackson Jr., he's number 1 in blocks in the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're getting it from everywhere. I would be shocked if they don't at least get to the Western Conference Finals, if not win the entire West.
Mm-hmm. They could do it. They could do it.
Right. To me, they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
But that brings us to our number 1, who's been, like we said, slow and steady. They've basically been on this ship for quite some time. If this was a cruise right now, they're actually on like a 3-month tour, because that's how long they've been on this. 62-16, 8-2 in their last 10. They're playing at home against the Lakers, then at LA and against the Clippers, at Utah, and then Sacramento at home this week. Lakers train wreck. I don't expect that to go very well for LA. Clippers, again, never know. They've played some good basketball. Paul George returning seems to have given them a little bit of a spark. Utah, that's a very interesting game to me, because Utah is one of those teams that honestly could compete, but have seemed to just hover around the 3-4 seed. Right? With the Denvers, the Dallas, all those groups, they're good teams. but they're not elite.
Utah is not. Yeah, they're really not elite. They don't have. I don't think they have an identity. You know,
Right.
I mean, they don't have an identity. What are they good at? Offense or defense, or and who's the number one scorer? And they don't really have an identity. So I don't think.
I love this fight. I love Mitchell.
Me too.
But I would say that him Gobert won't be enough. They need more out of Conley in Utah. But Phoenix, number one field goal percentage in the league, 48.7. If you look at what CP3 is doing, he leads the league in assists at 10.7 assists per game. DeAndre Ayton, 4th overall in field goal percentage at 63.6. So you think about big men in the league and how that's starting to become a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really exist anymore. Not like that. And you know what? It goes to prove that you still need the big men down low.
Yep, sure do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
And if I ask you this question, did you know, Kenny, the number 2 3-point percentage at 43.6%, Phoenix Suns, who would you say it is?
Isn't it Cameron Johnson?
Cameron Johnson. Very good. I was trying to see if you'd go with Booker. And right, if you think about Devin Booker, right, and what he does for that team, Cameron Johnson is their best 3-point shooter.
Yep.
Second in the league in percentage wise. So when he throws them up, they go in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting depth with Phoenix. They're getting the play from the big man in Phoenix, Chris Paul, the floor general, distributing, and then you got a superstar in Devin Booker. If you were in Vegas right now, my friend, and you had $1,000 to put down on who's winning the NBA Finals, would Phoenix get the majority of that money?
No.
Now you've piqued my curiosity.
If they're going against Phoenix, I'm sorry, if they're going against Memphis, no, they don't get my money.
Wow, so you're going Memphis. You would put more money on Memphis?
Yeah, I put more money on Memphis. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They're more hungrier. They are
I
more
like
hungry. Memphis is ready. Memphis is ready. Them kids are ready.
All right. Let's bring this list up real quick before we go on to our little homework assignment for you last week. So we have this list up, and our number 5 team was the Boston Celtics, who last week were 3rd. So we had a little bet going that you were going to jinx the team by putting them on the list, and hence they've dropped 2 spots.
Yes.
And lost Rob Williams in the process. So you're no longer allowed to put him on the list.
Yeah, right.
The Golden State Warriors at number 4, which I truly believe if they continue their downward spiral will not be on this list next week. At 3, the Miami Heat. Again, one of those teams that we feel is good, but there's a chance that they could be out. I think the 3, 4, 5 are definitely teams that could be at least chance of them not being on the list next week.
Yeah.
At 2, Memphis Grizzlies. Kenny has told you, so if you go to Vegas, put your money on the Memphis Grizzlies, and if you lose, reach out to Kenny directly, not to Sports Info. We're not liable for anything Kenny says on this show. And at number 1, you got the Phoenix Suns, who, again, have just been dominant all season. I don't even know if I'm tired of seeing it. It makes my job a lot easier when I got to put these lists up because I don't have to really worry about changing some of the teams because Phoenix has been there the entire time. Right. But so great list. Some controversy. When I did post it today, Kenny, there was a few people that were saying, why isn't Milwaukee on there? And I think people are sleeping on Dallas. So I would say next week we'll keep an eye, but we'll see where those teams are.
We'll keep an eye on Dallas.
I agree. I agree with you on the Philadelphia thing. Again, same record as Milwaukee, but if you compare the two teams, one's in one direction and one's in the other direction. And
Right.
So before we get on to your assignment from last week, let me ask you this question. Ben Simmons not returning till at least possibly after the play-in round, if at all. Should we all just assume, look, he's not coming back this season?
Yeah, he's not coming back this season.
Do you think he's going to play basketball ever again in the NBA?
No.
Right? I've got the same feeling.
No.
I think he's done.
This kid is done. This kid is done, and it's sad because he has potential.
Yeah.
You know?
So I had put up a poll on Twitter, and I will ask you this question. If you had to say who was a bigger disappointment this year, Ben Simmons or Zion Williamson?
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Do you not feel if Zion was there in New Orleans, again, making the playoffs, getting CJ McCollum, the way they're playing, that they could have possibly been a higher seed if Zion was playing?
Yeah, they could have been a higher seed, way higher seed.
So
Zion's a good player. Just that the weight got to him, and it's not good on the knees.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
The way he dunks and leaps.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if he even makes an appearance. They haven't ruled him out for the entire season yet.
No, they haven't. So,
which is pretty amazing on that part. So, assignment last week was for you to give us your favorite playoff upsets. So your 5 upsets of all time in the playoffs. So I'm really curious to see where you come out of this, because you never seem to disappoint me when you come up with these lists. So I can't wait to hear this. So Kenny's top 5 NBA playoff upsets of all time.
You ready?
At number 5.
Number 5, we got 2009 Magic over Cleveland.
So the LeBron Cleveland, right?
Yes. When Dwight Howard was good and he was scoring 40 points and grabbing 14 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's when he was awesome. Now?
Yeah, not so much.
Much.
He's a Laker. They don't do too well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So normally players go to Florida to retire. It looks like the Lakers is where they're doing that now.
Yeah,
they just go to retire. They don't want to play anymore. But that's a good one. I got Dwight Howard. We forget how good he was. And if you think about LeBron, you know what I mean? What's that? 12 years, 13 years ago? And how dominant he was. So that's a really interesting one. So what do you got at number 4?
Number 4, I got.
Oh, I lost Kenny, and I got to bring him back here. Let's get him back on there. We lost you for a second. There he is. He's back. Number 4. There's an upset right there.
Number 4, 2015-2016 Cavs versus Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors won 73 games.
Yeah, okay.
73 games. And then all of a sudden, at the house of Golden State, and what happened? LeBron.
And they were up 3-1 in that series.
They were.
They were up 3-1. It was a lock. And you're talking about Clay, Curry, and Durant all in their prime. And couldn't get by Kyrie and LeBron. And Kevin Love, sorry.
Kevin Love. Yeah.
Right. But yes, no, that was a major upset, because that was, again, 73 wins, the most wins in NBA history. You just assumed it was a lock when they went up 3-1. And LeBron, I still remember every time I see that highlight of that block where he pinned it on the board.
Yeah.
And you just the sheer will to want to win that series for Cleveland. He was going to win one for Cleveland, and at the end of it, when he was like, "Cleveland, this is for you." It was one of the it's such a good movement.
Such a great movement. At number 3, I got 2000 and 2001 Hornets versus the Heat.
So it was Alonzo.
Mm-hmm.
Was that time?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Alonzo. Who else was on that team?
Tim Hardaway.
Yes. Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
And Dan Marley was on the Heat. Yep.
Dan Marley. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Very good team.
Yeah. And the Hornets, boy, the Hornets. That's when it was like, we believe. We believe. We believe.
All right. So Charlotte, I like it. Unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
So then these first two, I'm excited.
All right. Number 2. This is my all-time favorite. Well, all-time favorite. That was my all-time favorite. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I was like, "What? Wait, what happened?" What happened? So the Superstars won 69 games. 69 games. Had Gary Payton, had Sean Kemp.
Kemp, yeah.
They were a powerhouse. A powerhouse. And it was the 8th seed, Denver Nuggets. Kenny Mutombo, Muhammad Abdul-Rauf,
Yes.
Yep. And they were up 2-1. I thought it was going to sweep them. I'm like, oh, they're going to sweep them. They're going to sweep them. The Supersonics, they're going to sweep them.
1-8 seed. Yes, it was a 1-8 matchup. And I still remember at the end of that, Dikembe on the ground holding the ball above his head, and just the shared disbelief that nobody expected that one. And I think that was the first time an 8 beat a 1.
Yes, first 8 beat a 1.
Right.
Yep.
So it was first time an 8 had beaten a 1. So you think about upsets, it hadn't happened before in NBA history, and that was the first one. And again, another one of those teams that was just fun to like, the Nuggets, because with Dikembe, and again, an older Dikembe, so we ain't even talking prime Dikembe, but Rauf was, I mean, he was a sharpshooter. Yep, LaFonso was a great player. So yeah, that was such a fun team. No, that was a really good one. But that one I probably would have had at 1. So I'm curious now, who you got at 1?
You ready for this?
I don't know.
I remember this like it was yesterday. 2006, 2007, Golden State over Mavs. I got 2 words for you. Okay, all right. One of the most underrated point guards of all time, Byron Davis. Byron Davis, you kidding me?
Wow.
You kidding me? B. Diddy? He was unbelievable.
Yes, he was.
He was unbelievable. He was dunking on everybody, shooting threes.
I think he's in the Big 3 league now.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming at all. I thought, it's the Mavs. They can run by him.
And that's what Dirk. That was the Dirk years.
That was the Dirk years. Yeah.
Yeah. When Dirk, and then I think they won the championship the following year against Miami.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the first.
So
because he had to go on TV and accept the MVP award, and he was pissed off. He earned it. And they got bounced. Yeah.
No, that's a really good one. That was a great list, my friend. And so many memories. So many memories. That I would say an honorable mention. And don't quote me on the year. I believe it was 94. Was it Orlando over Chicago? Jordan made the return.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right, that was to me one honorable mention. Again, Jordan wasn't prime Jordan. I mean, he had only come back like a month before the playoffs, and he still hadn't. That's when the 4-5, and then he decided to go to the 2-3, and he ended up. I forget when he went back to the 2-3, he had a monster game. He got fined by the league because the jersey wasn't allowed. But that was when Shaq Penny, that was the year that they went to the finals.
3
Yeah. Yeah. And then what happened to him? Then he started missing free throws. Never the same.
Yeah.
But that to me, always one that stands out to me.
That was good too.
Because that was that one. But no, I really like those selections. I really did. That was great. So you're ready for your next week's challenge?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So we always talk about offense, right? Offense, the glam, the glitch, scoring, right? I don't want to know about offense. I don't want to know about offense, Kenny. I want your top 5 defensive players of all time. And you're talking, listen, there's a wide range there, but you're Hakeem, Rodman, Gary Payton, who ended up getting a nickname, the Glove, because he just stuck. Like, I need 5. KG. Right? You think about it. Shaq. I mean, who's going to be on this 5 defensive players of all time? All right. So you got some thinking to do. Scoring's easy, bro. Scoring's easy.
Yeah, I can score.
One of the guys that could stop somebody.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
James Posey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lockdown defender.
Right?
Lockdown defender. LeBron James stopper. LeBron James stopper. Wait. What?
So, again, great list, my friend. I appreciate your time, your NBA insight. Impeccable, as usual. We love creating some kind of controversy. I think that's why you're leaving Golden State on there. You want people to talk about it. You want people to talk about it.
Yep.
But I will say this. I loved your upsets. I thought those were great. Really good. Really, really good stuff. Looking forward to tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We will be on for our Major League Baseball preview show. So much to go over. We're going to cover every team, all their transactions. We're going to cover lineups. So really exciting. And we're going to give you our picks of who's going to win it all. And our first ever Major League Baseball rankings will be out tomorrow. We will release those as well. So I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Kenny, great show tonight. Appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m., my friend.
Yes,
Take
you will.
care.
Thank
Fans
you.
out there. Peace.
Peace.